Now, be honest. Does your side projects always feel like they're fighting for your time and energy after work every day? You sit down knowing that you're finally going to get things done. However, by the end of the week, you are staring at a to-do list that feels like it got longer rather than shorter. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Here's the truth. Time management that actually works doesn't look anything like cramming more into your already packed schedule. It is about building a system that gives you consistency and clarity when life gets busy. Now, take Lyra, for example. When she first came to me, she was exhausted from long work days, right? Constantly overwhelmed and frustrated that all of the productivity hacks that she tried wasn't actually sticking. And after working together, she told me she felt more clear and in control of her week. Like she could breathe again. Right. And she started making real visible progress towards her goals instead of spinning her wheels. And that is exactly what I want for you. Now stick with me to the end of this video because I'm going to show you the exact time management approach that works for working women who have big creative dreams and also have personal goals. And if you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed and finally become consistent so you can move your side projects forward, I invite you to book a free clarity call with me. The link is in the description box or the comment section below. Hello there, my name is Laura. I help working women find the time to build their creative side projects and personal goals without burning out. So I know what it's like to feel like there is never enough time. Now in this video, I'm going to show you the exact strategies that helps me stay consistent, avoid burnout, and build momentum towards my side project even with a full-time job. And before you go, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified every week when I drop a new video. Now, the very first thing you want to do is start with realistic capacity plan. And here's a trap most working women or most working anybody who has creative dreams. There's a trap that they make. They plan their week like they are full-time entrepreneurs. When realistically, we've already committed 40 plus hours to our jobs, plus family, plus all the unexpected things life throws at us, right? That is why your to-do list feels impossible, because it is. Realistic capacity planning starts with you really being honest with yourself about how much time and energy you actually have. Instead of giving your side projects the fantasy hours, like telling yourself you're going to work 4 hours every single night after work, you want to actually assign it the realistic hours, right? Maybe that is 2 hours, 2 days a week after work. Or maybe that looks like 3 focused blocks during the weekend. Now here's the truth. Fewer focused blocks with a clear plan will always move you further than spreading yourself thin with endless tasks. So you want to think of it like budgeting your time, exactly how you're going to budget your money. You wouldn't plan to spend money you don't have, right? I mean, hopefully. So why on earth are you going to plan to spend time that you really do not have? Now, when you start this way, like you lower the overwhelm and you lower the frustration. Instead of ending the week feeling behind, you end the week knowing you did exactly what you planned to do. And that is where consistency is born, because consistency thrives on realism rather than wishful thinking. The second step to your time management system is you want to anchor your week to your non-negotiables. One of the biggest reasons a lot of working women feel scattered when it comes to time management and productivity is because every week kind of looks different. So you're constantly reacting to whatever comes up. Meetings, errands, last-minute tasks. So your side projects get pushed around like an afterthought. And that is why I teach my clients to anchor their weeks with your non-negotiables. Now think of this like the pillar to your schedule, right? They don't move, they don't shift, they don't get burned away. Now this is exactly what happened to one of my clients. She used to feel like her side hustle was always squeezed into whatever time she had left. That left her overwhelmed, inconsistent, and feeling guilty at the end of the week. But once we identified her non-negotiables, 2 evenings for her business and 1 block for rest, everything shifted. She told me she finally felt structured, and for the first time she was actually finishing what she started. Now the magic is this: once your non-negotiables are locked in, everything else in life can actually flex around them. It's like putting the big rocks in the jar first, right? Rest and your side project have their place. And here's the bonus: your non-negotiables not only have to be work related. Like one of my clients, she was really struggling with her sleep, right? She wasn't getting enough rest. For some people, it's 7 hours a night, 8 hours. Some people can do it 6 hours. For me, 7 hours. I can't do less than 7 hours. So she was really struggling with her sleep schedule. So we created a plan and I told her to focus on really getting her sleep schedule locked in. That is her non-negotiable. So for the season where she was struggling with that, that was her focus, really getting her 7 hours of sleep locked in. Because without that sleep, without that rest, you're not going to be able to be productive, right? You can't be productive for work. You can't be productive with any other goals that you have. So her negotiable during this specific period was really locking in on her 7 hours of sleep every single night. So yes, your non-negotiables not always have to be work related. They can include rest, workout, or even family time. Because if you do not intentionally protect those areas, everything else is going to crowd them out. This simple shift turned my client's week from reactive chaos into structured routines she could follow. Right? Once she had a good night's sleep, once she was able to consistently get her 7 hours of sleep every single night, then she could build from there. Because when your schedule feels steady, you can finally show up for your work, your side projects, your family, your personal responsibilities, and personal goals. You can actually show up for that without feeling like you're losing your sanity. And if you're ready to go from scattered and overwhelmed to consistent and clear and making real progress towards your side project goals, book a free clarity call with me today. I'll help you create a system that works for your real life and for your personal goals rather than against it. Now, the third thing to your time management system is you want to focus on the 20% tasks. Like I always say, not all tasks are created equal, right? About 20% of the things on your list create 80% of your progress. And the rest, they keep you busy, but not necessarily moving forward. And this is where so many working women with side projects get stuck. You spend hours tweaking your logos, scrolling for inspiration, watching countless YouTube videos. And this is one of my clients, like she kept watching video after video after video about things that she wanted to do, but wasn't really actually getting the stuff done. Meanwhile, the tasks that actually grow your side projects, like maybe reaching out to potential clients, creating content, developing your offer, or finally taking that Spanish class that you've always wanted to, keeps getting pushed to later. Now, focusing on your 20% tasks means you getting crystal clear on which actions actually move the needle in your business or your personal goals or your side projects. So you want to ask yourself, if I only had 90 minutes this week, what's the one thing I could do that would create biggest impact? Now, that is your 20% task. So when one of my clients started applying this, everything changed. Because before she was burned out, she was juggling too many things, and she was constantly feeling like she wasn't doing enough. But once we were able to identify and be crystal clear about what her goal is, identified her 20% tasks, and then build her week around them, she was able to move from chaos to clarity. Instead of spinning her wheels, she started making steady, consistent progress towards achieving her goal at a time, which was getting a new job. And she actually did. Now, the beautiful part is this. When you zero in on your 20% tasks, you can stop feeling guilty about not doing everything, because now you know you're focused on what actually matters. And that clarity alone is a game changer. Now, the next step is you want to use the minimum viable effort to stay consistent. Here's the mindset shift that is going to save your side projects. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Too many times we feel like success comes from going all in all at once, working late nights, tackling giant to-do lists. But that is exactly what leads to burnout and inconsistency. And that means asking yourself, what is the smallest, most doable version of this task that is still going to move me forward? For example, that looks like planning one Instagram caption rather than doing a whole month of content, or outlining a blog post rather than drafting it out all perfectly in one sitting. Maybe that's spending 20 minutes networking or reaching out to potential clients instead of trying to build an entire sales funnel in one weekend. So one of my clients used to set this huge unrealistic goals for her week. And when things inevitably got in the way, she'd feel guilty and give up altogether. Now, once she learned how to scale her tasks to a minimum viable effort and also focus on one thing at a time, she told me she finally felt in control of her week, like she was finally able to build routines around her tasks, right? Like she could stay in the game without burning out. And those small, consistent actions amounted to real results towards her reaching her goals. So here is the truth. Minimum efforts doesn't mean minimum results. It simply means you're lowering the career to get started, right? So you keep showing up. And showing up consistently is what compounds into momentum. So if you're tired of the all or nothing cycle, granting one week, stalling the next week, and you want to finally build consistency that sticks, I'd love to help you. So book a free clarity call using the link in the description box below or the comment section below that keeps your side projects moving forward without draining all of your energy. Know that the habit of showing up matters more than the size of the effort. And the last step to your time management system is you want to protect your energy with boundaries and rest. Here's the truth no one talks about. You can have the best planning system, the clearest priorities, none of it matters. And that is why protecting your energy with boundaries and rest is non-negotiable if you want to make progress towards your side projects or your personal goals. Most working women with side projects fall into the trap of giving their full-time job their family, and everything else the best of their energy, then trying to squeeze their own personal goals into leftovers, right? No wonder you feel exhausted and behind. So boundaries start with simple things. That means logging off work at a specific time rather than trying to answer just one more email. Say no to commitments that drain you, or as simple as creating a cutoff time for social media scrolling. Every no you say to distractions is a yes you're saying to the dream that you're building. And let's talk about rest. Rest is not wasted time. It is a productivity strategy. Now, when one of my clients came to me, she was in constant burnout mode, working a demanding 9 to 5, running her side project every single night with zero margin for herself. She felt anxious, guilty, and stuck in chaos. But once she started building rest and boundaries into her week, protecting time for her kids, workout, and downtime, her productivity became steady and progressive. She told me she finally felt aligned, present for her family, and in control again. Now, protecting your energy doesn't slow you down. Instead, makes you unstoppable. Because when you're rested, clear, and focused, you can show up for your side projects with intention rather than running on fumes. So let's bring this all together. First, you want to start with realistic capacity planning. This is where you stop pretending you have 40 extra hours and start planning for the time and energy you realistically have. Secondly, you want to anchor your week with your non-negotiables. And this is where you put the big rocks in first, so your side projects and your rest have a home. Third, focus on your 20% tasks. And these are the few things that actually move the needle instead of a piece of work that keeps you stuck. Fourth, use minimum viable efforts to stay consistent, because small doable actions done every week add up faster than big sprints followed by burnout. And lastly, protect your energy with boundaries and rest, so you can show up with clarity and focus, not exhaustion and guilt. This is the exact framework my clients use to go from overwhelmed and reactive to consistent and confident in building their creative side projects and personal goals. So here's my question for you. Are you ready to stop spinning your wheels and actually start making progress towards your creative dreams? If your answer is yes, I'd love to help you build a productivity system that fits your real life. So book a free clarity call with me using the link in the description box below or the comment section below. Together, we're going to map out how you can actually create consistency, balance, and momentum in your side projects without burning out. But before you go, what is your big struggle right now? Is it time, energy, or consistency? So share below. I'd love to hear and share a tip that might help. Thanks so much for watching. If you love this video, please like, share with someone who needs a productivity boost, subscribe to this channel for weekly videos. Make sure you watch the video on the screen next on my productivity journey and how I went from overwhelmed and burned out to consistent and clear with a full-time job and a side hustle. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.